Hey out there, slot car land. How's everybody doing this fine weekend? Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Hope you came out of it with all your fingers and toes and hair and all that stuff. Hope you had a great time. I decided to take last week off. Just wasn't enthused about anything about doing a video. I just wanted to spend time with the family, have fun, and have a great 4th of July weekend. So we did that and all that kind of stuff. So today I thought I'd talk about something in the whole time that we've had this channel and have never really talked about, and that is slot car boxes. I've seen some pictures in some of the groups. People go, "So is your slot car box work?" You know, and all that kind of stuff. So I thought we'd talk about that, organization, and where to get them, and all that kind of stuff. So some of the things that I have noticed locally, at least here in my town. I have 2 Walmarts, I have a Cabela's, we have a Dick's Sporting Goods, we have, who else would carry? Probably Big 5, Fred Meyer's. Those are probably your main places here where I could get a tackle box, which is what most people use for slot cars, is a tackle box. But I have noticed here lately that the ones they carry in store are smaller. This happens to be Elijah's box. We bought this for him, probably 8-9 years ago now, for him to use. And this one has the 2 drawers on the bottom with a little cupboard space on the side, and then on the top, as you guys can see, he's got storage and room for 2 drawers there, and all that. And this at the time was probably one of the biggest ones that they had. And if I remember right, we got this one at Walmart. So at that particular time, that's how big they are. This one is 11 and a half inches wide, 10 inches tall, and 9 inches deep. And I'm not really a partaker of the pull-out drawers. This is something that's not really, I don't like it. I'd rather have a drawer that's in the box that doesn't come out, kind of thing, for my cars. I mean, this does have the storage on top, and he does have he does have the big bay inside that he can use that goes down there. But as you can see, these drawers are only this wide, so it's only like half the depth of a box because you've got this back one back here. So that, you know, it doesn't really suit my style of a box. Now my box is about 20 years old now. I got this in probably 2000, I think, early 2000. Bought this at Fred Meyer's, and you can't even find a box this big at Fred Meyer's anymore. So it's kind of hard to come by. I have found a few on Google that I've Googled that are almost like this, except the more newer brand. There's one that has little sides on the side that flip up. It's about the same depth as this. I like the door. I like this door out because you've got compartments here to put stuff. I glued a couple of stands down over here to put a couple of cars on that you can have parked here and all that kind of stuff. And then of course you have the upper storage area up here where you can store your other stuff. And I've been doing a little organizing here, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. If you guys check out, I'm not quite sure where it was posted, but Roger Priscelli just posted on Facebook a while back about a new box that he got for his slot car stuff. And it is a good size. I mean, that's his new box. I mean, granted, he did spend quite a bit for this box. Here's a picture of it from the website that he got it from. This is a $425 box. So that's a little steep, but, you know, for someone like him, it's probably the best. But if you do go on the internet and look around, you could probably find one like this one, just newer and more updated, for about 40 to 50 bucks. I think I found the one that I was just talking about with the little flip-ups on the side. was $39.99, so $40, which is not bad. And it had the same pull-out drawers, 4 pull-out drawers, and about had the same top up here organized wise. So that would work out, you know, perfectly great, because you don't have to take everything to the track, just tools and what cars you're running that day. So it's not like you need a huge box and take everything you own with you. And that's kind of the gist of the video today. We'll just talk about some organizing stuff. Some other things that are neat to have, let's get the camera up here, are little organizing boxes here. These are my tools for my Dremel. You can find these at Walmart. This one, as a matter of fact, came from Walmart. This is what I'm using to store my tires now. I'm trying to get a buildup of tires to have for different cars and whatnot. So that's getting to be kind of helpful too as well. This side's Tyco's Lifelikes. My AFX tires. These are going to be for my Auto World and Auto World and Johnny Lightning cars. And I got a storage spot over here. Those are my body clips for my Viper. So it's nice to have a smaller Dremel that'll fit in your box without any issue. This Apex Forged Dremel is really, really nice. There's a lot of people out there starting to get these. You can find these on Amazon. They work great. The chargers and everything, and they fit in the box really, really nice. So as you can see, I've got everything kind of organized to where everything fits in my box. My 2 controllers, my downforce meter, and my pickup shoe tension meter. My new RPM pit box for taking stuff to the racetrack from the pit area fits in here really nice now. I figured out how everything can fit. My trays for my part pieces from Vonto for working on my chassis, my Dremel, the boxes that hold all my other parts, my butane powered soldering gun, and all my pit dots over there. So everything's fitting in here really, really nice. These are nice too, like I said, the double-sided. This one I think I probably stole from my sister way back when. It's one that we had laying around, so I grabbed it. But this is where my pickup shoe springs for all my cars are here. Some guide pins, some motor brushes. New set of motor brushes there, some more springs there. And then on the other side is some other stuff, some more shoes over here as well. These are my bigger shoes for my T-Jets and other cars. Some wheels and tires. These are for the Viper chassis that we're going to be putting on down the road. So it's nice to have one of these, 1 or 2 of these actually, to keep your parts and stuff in. And it's really, really nice to be organized, to keep things nice, neat, and all of that. So that's what's in the top of my box. This is all my big stuff. I finally figured out a way to get all of this in here to where this shuts and locks really, really nice and really, really easy. So if we come up, let's see if we can't get the camera here. So my drawers are organized. I've got a few cars in the top drawer here. Let's see if we can keep the camera right there from falling. But these are where most of my tools are kept nowadays. They're in my top drawer, my tech block, my anvils for my wheel press, my anvils for my gear press, my my wheel puller, some of my other the other ones over here, the axle installers and pullers. My other puller, this one's kind of small. I use this for other things. My pinners in here, my gear, my pinner for my motor plate for T-Jets is in here. My pickup shoe setup, my flat setup block, all of that stuff's in here. So all of this fits in here really, really nice. Some of the cars that are in here don't get used a lot, but they're still in here. Some of my Johnny Lightnings and actually these are all Johnny Lightnings, whether they're the Thunderjet 500 or the X-Traction cars, and my specialty chassis Magna Traction car is in here as well. So this is basically those cars and all my tools, my screwdrivers and my X-Acto knives, my tweezers, all of that stuff, all the anvils and all my other cutting wheel that won't fit in the holder is in here, because it's got a cutting wheel mounted to it and all that kind of stuff. So I want to keep my tools in the top of the box. That way they're easy to get to, and especially when you're at a track and you're trying to work on a car and you've got limited time to get it done. So the next 3 drawers are all cars, and I have my cars set up to where each car has an area. This is my T-Jets and my magnet traction and non-mag cars, my stock T-Jets, my freight cars, our fairgrounds class cars. I got a couple of my magnet traction truck, and then I got a couple of the Tomei cars here. My SRTs are in here, and then the Viper's in here still in the box there. I got to get those new wheels and mounted on that so we can get some tires on there. And then the next one down is more of the Tomei and the Aurora, my turbos, my Super Gs, my AMRAC cars, my full body, and my IndyCar G Plus cars. The Mega Gs are in here, my Super Magnet Traction's in here, and my Jag TR3 chassis in here that the race one has. My other ones are over there. That they're the IROC cars that I use are over there, and their other packages over there. And in the bottom drawer is my Tyco, my HB2s, HB7s, 44X2s, my Lifelikes, my IndyCar 442s, and my Lifelike cars, my M chassis, and my T chassis, which I'm not a big fan of the T chassis, to tell you the truth. I like the M chassis a lot better. I got a couple in here, and then the other ones are all in the parts drawers and whatnot. I don't have anything in my slot car box that's a project. I keep those in my bins up here, where all my parts and stuff are, and this one over here is where my library. This is what I'm using for my library of chassis that I have. Some of them I have, others that I need to get, so I might have a couple more of those around. But a tackle box is almost a must, especially if you leave your house to go race. You got to have something to take your cars in, and to get them there, and your tools and everything. So you got to have everything with you that you need to go to a race. So if just look around on the internet, go on to Google tackle boxes. You can even go in there to particular companies, whether you want to go to Cabela's or other sporting goods stores that you may not have in your area that you can look at, and all that if you can't find it. And also look for some alternatives like Roger did, and look at like tool organizers. You can get some fairly small tool organizers. Granted, you're probably going to pay a little more for those than you would pay for a tackle box, but it depends on how much stuff you have, how often you go to race at other places outside of your own home. If you travel or whatnot, like we do when we go to Portland or we go down to the Fray, you got to make sure you have everything with you. Flying with slot cars is a whole nother ball game, from what I understand, and we may visit that down the road if we ever do a long trip. If we ever go to like the Harpo Nationals or whatnot, maybe we'll do a video about what you can and can't take on an airplane. Because everybody we've talked to who travel to go racing says that they take their stuff as a carry-on onto the airplane. So their tackle box goes with them into the airplane personally with them, so it doesn't get checked into luggage, because you have no clue what's going to happen after that. So there's certain things you can and cannot take onto that into the flight. So maybe if we ever get around to doing that, we'll discuss that down the road, and what you can and can't take on an airplane if you're traveling by flying to a slot car race. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. Just a little gist about how my box is organized. Maybe some ideas of where you can go to find one for you if you're looking for one. A couple of things that I have found is that this is probably the best way to go is with the drawers. Now, if you have the fold-out one, to me that takes up too much space, especially if you guys go to a race in your local area. You know, a lot of people don't have a lot of space. And if you got a big tackle box like that, it takes up a lot of space. You got to open it and shut it. You can't leave it open, you know, to just dive in and get your stuff. It's a lot better if you're at your pit table to just be able to have this open and like a drawer open. I mean, you're only taking up so much space that way. You still got an area in front of your box here to work on a car and because my desk is not very deep. So, you know, that's probably the best bet for going to races, especially in places that don't have a lot of space. A lot of people have their tracks in a garage. A lot of them are single car garages, and it's just, you know, some may be double car garages, but still, that's not a lot of space. You saw the pictures I posted on the group page on Facebook from Mark's house, and his place is kind of cramped, and you notice how much space we had there. So you got to keep that in mind when you're buying a slot car box. Is if you got to think about the space that you're going to be taking up, how many people show up to a race that you go to on a regular basis, and all of that into contingent when you're buying a box, on top of the fact of what you want to take, how much you want to take, and how much you can get into it. So there's a lot of factors in a slot car box when you start thinking about it that way. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for one. Keep in mind about what you race and what you race on a regular basis. So you could have those cars, and it's nice to have at least 2 of that car with you at all times. In case one does have an issue and you can't really fix it, you've got a backup car that you can go to. Most of us in my group do carry 2 of every car in our box just for that particular instance. If you burn up a motor or whatnot, you do have another chassis you can go to run. That's something that we will allow if you can't fix the car within a limited amount of time, depending on how much time we have to race. We will let you go to a backup car if you can't fix the one that's running, so that you were running in that heat to begin with. If you just want to change cars in the middle of a race, just to change cars, we usually don't allow that. You usually have to have a problem with your car to be able to swap out. But if you don't have another one of those with you at that particular moment, what are you going to do? So it helps to carry 2 of the same cars in your box just so you have them in case that situation does come about. So, but that's this week's video. Hope this, guys, helps you out. I promise we'll have a bi-weekly next week. And then after that, we will be probably going back to the fray build and working on getting the gears all polished, not polished, but broken in. Show you how we're going to do that with a little setup I got going on to run that car in. We're going to put a little polishing stuff. We're going to put a little flitz polish on the running gears and all that to get them all broken in and everything and running really, really well and all that kind of stuff. So we'll throw motor magnets in it. We're just going to throw a set of motor magnets in it and the brushes in it just to get it to run so we can get that polished. And then once that's done, we'll start experimenting with different motor magnet sets that I have, Killer B sets that I have, and we'll just start seeing what the motor likes in that car and what one will turn the best thing on the dyno and all that stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And just continue to have a great week. Continue racing slot cars. Keep that pin in the slot, them wheels on the downside. And I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Bye.